Good evening. I hope we are all well. Just checking I am live. There we go. Okay, we'll get rid of that. Good evening to you all. I hope you've had a lovely day. I need to pull my chair up a bit. We've got a beautiful evening here. My name's Lisa, and I am the face behind Lisa's Loft, and I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I'm here tonight to create a scrapbook page. I do 2 lives every Thursday, all being well, wrong side. Yeah, I go live at 1 o'clock in the afternoon where I create cards, bags, whatever I fancy really normally. Do some techniques with you, and then have an evening and I do a scrapbook page. Now, I always try to use the product that I'm showcasing throughout the week. I showcase a product or a suite of products or a bundle or something every week, and this week it's the Florals in Bloom. So I made a card on today's live, which was this one. We did a side stepper card. We cut in loads of stamping and die cutting, lots of flowers. It's really pretty sweet. And tonight we're going to create a scrapbook page. Now I have pre-stamped and die cut a lot of the flowers because it took so long today. I thought, you know what, I'll do some before. So I need to decide what I'm going to do it on. And by that I mean, excuse me, am I going to use a coloured piece of paper or a white? I think I'm going to go white. My husband Dale has just made me a cup of tea, so I shall be drinking that because the one I had today went cold and I don't want this to go cold. Right, let's grab, oh, if I can, just that. Why is everything just that little bit out of reach? I have everything as close to me as possible and it's still just that little bit too far. There we go, we've got a seam there. Okay, it sounds like Hayden's got his music on. He's rearranging his room at the moment. So let's put music on to help him. You might not be able to hear it. Okay, right, we'll grab that. Let's put that down there out of the way. So we've got our piece of 12 by 12. And like I say, I've been busy beforehand stamping and die cutting a lot of flowers. So I thought, first of all, we need to glue these together so I don't end up with them everywhere. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to push that up a bit so that I can do it here, so I'm not going to get glue over everything. And I said earlier, I love the dies. Actually, die cut out the stamp to me, but then have a little bit extra for you to be able to put your glue on. Which some dies I've had in the past, I haven't had that. And it just makes it a little bit awkward when gluing things together. Right. Do pop on and say hello. I mean, I'm quite happy talking to myself. That's not a problem. At least I get the answers I want then. But it's nice to know who's there watching along. If you're watching this later on or over on YouTube. Don't forget to leave a comment. I love to read everybody's comments. I've put that on the wrong one, but that doesn't matter because they are slightly different sizes, but no matter. Get these stuck. I was hoping to have got some of this done as well, but I went out in the garden after my live, like I said I would. I did say that's what I'd be doing, and I potted the one fuchsia that I brought the weekend. No, it wasn't the weekend, it was the other day. What am I talking about? It was Tuesday, wasn't it? Put that in hanging basket because that was a trailing fuchsia. And then the other one I needed a pot because every time I've planted them in the garden, they've done no good. So the last one I put in a pot after it had been in the garden and it died. So I've tried again. So I've got this pot that got a crack down the back. Terracotta pot. A lot of my pots are cracked and broken, but when they've got pretty flowers in them, it doesn't matter, does it? So I potted it up, put it in there, decided where I wanted it, moved another pot to be able to fit it on, put it there, twisted it to straighten it up, and it decided it was going to break in two. So I was like, oh, great. That's not what I wanted. It stayed in situ, so everything didn't fall out, so we were okay. But I was like, oh, now what do I do? I've got a pot up this end of the garden, right up this corner, that did have a hebe in it, and that died. I think part because it doesn't get any sun whatsoever there. But I'd got some ferns that had self-seeded and come. And I was like, you know what? I'll take that out of there. They'd just started to sprout again. So I tipped it out. I thought, oh, that will stay there on the ground and that will just root itself down. That'll be fine. So I got this other pot then that was slightly bigger, and I thought I'll just pick this broken pot up and just drop it in this other pot. Carefully, obviously, but get going in. And what happened? It all just sunk. So I was left with about that much soil, well, compost in the bottom, and then this little thing. So I then had to go and find a load of compost to top it back up. Right, I should have talked you through those, shouldn't I? So for these, I have used the Summer Splash for the leaves and foliage, and then I've used Darling Duckling Stamped Off, and then Full Strength for the detail. Then these ones are Summer Splash and Strawberry Slush, again Stamped Off for the fuller image and Full Strength for the detail. I've then got these stalks that are Shy Shamrock, and then we're just going to attach some of these, which I call foxgloves. I don't think they actually are, but they've got that look to them, and those are done in Petunia Pop. I'll just attach some of these to here. I don't think I've got enough of these stalks for all of the flowers that I've done, because I've got some different ones that are upside down, inside out daisies. I don't know what they are. That's what they look like to me. I think I have got a couple more stamped stalks, but I ran out of time die cutting. before I came on. Yeah, that's what I was saying, wasn't it? This afternoon. I went out there, did that. See, my mind wanders. I forget. These are peach pie. They're stamped in peach pie with timid tiger for the detail. Just stick those on. Yeah, so by the time I'd done that and faffed about, then I sat and had a drink. I'd got washing that was out and checking that. Hayden then did some washing that needed doing. Dell was home and it was like, oh my gosh, need to get tea. So I ended up ordering in tea. That wasn't my intention, but I just didn't get round to getting anything. And then it was like, right, I'll have a sort out and get ready for this evening. So yeah, run out of time a little bit, but that's okay. Right, we can die cut these two to go on these two here. Find the right die. There we go. I thought of something and now it's totally gone out of my mind. Right, you can pop that on there. There we go. Has anyone been making anything? Anyone been doing anything in their garden while the weather's like this? That's if you're in the UK, I suppose, and if you're having the same weather as me. Because I don't suppose the whole of the UK has got this weather, has it? Right. That's those. And then I'm going to start creating, because that is all I want for now. Just wanted to make sure we've got a start of those. And then we can get going on the page. There we go. That's one. And this one. This is a lovely bundle. Well, the whole suite is gorgeous. It uses both sets of ink colours. The stain set, the 2024-2026, and also the new incoming 25 to 27. But the bundle, there's two bundles with the suite. But I particularly love this one with all its foliage and flowers and all the dies to cut out your stamped images, but also to create some standalone die cut flowers, which I have done on a couple of projects I've been sharing this week. The projects are a case from the catalogue, as I have said, so it gives you a sneak peek of what's coming in that. But yeah, it's a lovely bundle for making lots of different bits. Right, so we've got a piece of paper and I'm going to do squares of the DSP. Now this DSP is stunning, absolutely. I mean, look at it in all its gorgeousness. It's just, yeah, I love it. Look at that. I might use some of that and some of that. Look. So yeah, right, so what we got, I used that this afternoon. We could have a green. I think we need to use a bit of green and a bit of that, maybe. Or actually, if we use that, then a bit of that, because I want gradient to it. Then we'll go with, trying to see which backgrounds. I think it's going to be that one. And I think we might be better going either the purple or that. We'll see, we'll see. I did. That looks better, doesn't it? That. And then finally, I don't know if that's right. That isn't lighter than that, is it? Don't think I've got anything that is lighter. But we could just, no, I want another patterned. I think I am going to go that. Just trying to get a feel for how it looks. That. Yeah, I think that's nice. Yeah, we'll go with those. In fact, I've got a couple of little pieces of that we can use rather than using a big sheet. Right, I don't need that one. I mean, it would be nice that. Yeah, it's going to have to be because I want 2 flowers, 2 stripes, 2 patterned. So I want 2 of each squares that are 2.5 centimetres, no, 2.5 inches wide square. I'll cut that at 2.5. I think I want them 2.5. I want them 2.5. That'll give me 5, 10. Yeah, I should leave enough. 2.5 by 2.5 and 2.5. Okay, that's 2 of those. We won't get rid of that. We'll keep that for something else. Put that over there. And next one is this. So we'll do move glue. Thank you. 2.5 by 5. And then we can do 5. So cut that. We're not cutting excess. And then 2.5 again. In fact, I want these separate because I want 2 separate piles. And then we've got these. Now our stripes on those go down. Oh, well, I could turn it and do it across. So just ignore what I said because you can turn it. Not an issue, is it? I'll go 2.5 again. And on this one. There we go. That's one of those. And then our final one is this. So I want it to do it that way. So if I do 5 by 2.5 and 2.5 up to the 5 and 2.5. Now, I hope you've all been checking out the last chance list. Those products, once they're gone, that's it. They won't be returning. The new catalogue goes live on the 6th of May. Where there is lots and lots of gorgeous new products. Right, so let's have a look. I'm thinking somewhere there. I think 2.5 is too big. Yeah, I want them smaller. Not a problem. We can cut them smaller. I'll do them 2 at a time. No, I won't because that's moving. And we'll just make these 2 by 2. They just look a bit big. How I want them to sit. I will keep these. I don't throw these little scraps away. They always come in. We make lots of cards using scraps. That's better. And I want to make sure I've got as much of that blue as I can. That ties in. Yes, that's so much better. Right. This one hasn't got very much blue on really, but it's got a bit. It's there. We'll make sure we keep it. It's going to cut all that teal off, but that's okay. I don't want them to be the same. We want them to be similar. And one more. That's that one. This is always the part that takes the longest, isn't it? The, you know, figuring out what you're putting on and what bits you want to use. At least when we're stamping all that earlier. And die cutting, it's not quite so long. There we go. And that's that one. Right. Happier with that. So we want, if I put that about there, this is only to see what it'll look like. I don't think I want it quite so close. I think I've got Nirvana coming out of the room next door. I think that looks better. I know those aren't the right way around, but hey ho. Yeah, that's better. Right, let's stick these down. Now, if you want to, you could mark them out so that you make sure you get them straight and level. This is me. I do it by eye. My eyes have let me down and things haven't been quite right, but as a whole it's usually okay. There we go. Isn't that a gorgeous colour? Cloudy sky, cloud cover I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, looks like cow cover. But it's lovely. All these new in colours are lovely, and they do go. And I've done it, haven't I? Oh no, I haven't. That's right. It's that one that's wrong. They do go so well together, both sets. All right, let me move these before. I don't want to accidentally glue them down the wrong way. All right, let me just grab this a little bit. And I want to have about the same, something like that. Yeah, they work so well together. Which the last lot that we had, the ones that are just retiring, Moody Mauve and Boho Blue and Wild Wheat, I love them all together as a group, but found it hard mixing them in with other colours somewhat, whereas these fit so well together. Right, we've got our paper, and then I'm going to put out the way a photo mat, which I'm only going to have a small photo on here. Now, I have taken inspiration for this. I'm not going to pretend that this is all my own doing. I found a layout online, and the name it's got on it is Jenessa Franco for paper issues. So it's her layout design, and I'm just using it with our products. Right, so I'm having a 3x4 photo on there. That's a bit for stamping. Okay, so that is in place of my photo at the moment. And then I want a couple of pieces of card and that behind that. So I'm going to go, because we've got brightness on the flowers. I think we want to bring out that brightness. So I think we need, maybe, I don't want it overpowering, but I want it bright. I don't think that's big enough. No, because I need it a little bit bigger than what I wanted. So I'm going for Pretty in Pink. So that might just be. So I'm going to make that 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Look at that. And then our next one is going to be, how does that one, Strawberry Slush, sit? I like it. I'm going to go with it. Who says colours can't clash? And then I want that 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Colours can clash. Colours can do whatever you want them to do. If you like them, then it's right. That's all I can say. Okay, so we're going to have that, something like that there. Now I'm going to start building round. So let me stick these down. I think I need to store my glue upside down. I'll pop that there. Again, I just eyeball it. I don't want it straight. There we go. And then this one, not straight. And then this would be our photo. So I do want that straight, which I'm probably going to struggle to get it straight, to be honest, but I think thereabouts. Oh, gosh. I'm just going to check that I have got that. That's 2 inches there. And 2 inches there. Excellent. That will be there. And what I'm going to do now, this is a retired die, but I believe the punch is still current, but I bought the die and not the punch. But I am going to use this to create a tab. I think, yeah, we'll have a nice tab with that. And I'm going to do it in should we have a green on there or yellow? We've got Darling Duckling, or we can go for Summer Splash. Oh, I think a bit of Darling Duckling. Let's pull that out. A Darling Duckling on there. Yeah, why not? Alright, let's just put around that. Push that up slightly. I've got a little bit of glue somewhere on my tabletop and things keep sticking. Now I need to turn this round again and keep turning your plate so that they don't get damaged more one side than another, because they do start to bow. There's nothing you can do about it. They will bow. Put it down this, but that's okay, not a problem. You just keep turning them. All right, it does help because with my old machines I used to keep them in like that, keep them halfway, and that helps to keep them flat. But because I fold these machines up, that doesn't happen. All right, so we'll pop that away and that in the bin, and then we've got a nice tab, which if we wanted to we could cut in half and make two, but I'm not. I want to have it that bit thicker. We'll fold that and then we'll glue to hold that together. Right, I've got my little yogurt pot which has got a mountain of glue in it and the bottom dried. That's what I use to keep my glue upright. And then we'll stick that behind there. So we've just got a little tab coming out from there, and our photo will go over the top. When we add our photo on. Okay. Lovely. Right. Our title we'll have up here, and I am going to use, I think, if it looks okay, the bloom that I cut out earlier. I cut two out, one each way. I used the Secret Sea on white, but I think I'm going to go white on Secret Sea. No, I'm not, because that's lost. So we'll have a colour on Secret Sea, I think. And might be nice. I wonder what cloud cover would look like, because it's a lighter tone. I've got a piece here, so we can get the dye. And we can run that through now and see. The thing is, we can, if we don't use it, we can keep it for another one, because they always come in. And I usually end up with quite a few cut in different colours in my stash. And sooner or later, I use them. Why isn't that going through? There we go. Just hadn't quite got it through enough. It was just taking the top plate. User error. Okay. As it normally is, user error. Right, let's bring that back down a bit. I want to bring it, I'll have to bring it to see what it looks like and then push it back up because of gluing. There we go. Again, I forgot to use my adhesive sheets. But they make it so much easier. So it's messing with glue on these little pieces. But we can manage. Right. What does this look like? No. No, don't like that. Okay, we'll change our mind. I wonder about a strawberry slush. I mean, it might be that we have to go bright on the background. Okay, let's try this. As with it all, it's trial and error. Sometimes things look right, but then when we put it to our piece, it doesn't. We might do it on another project and it looked absolutely fine. But on the one we're currently working, it doesn't. I never can tell. This will blend in with the photo mats. I don't know, I don't like it. I don't know why, I don't know what's... Maybe I do need to do a white on a different colour. A bright. I might... I'm going to put a bit of ink up there and see. I might totally ruin this. But I'm thinking if I add a little bit of yellow Darling Duckling ink up there, might just ground it a bit. Sometimes it just needs a little bit of grounding. I'm doing it really lightly because I don't want to get a blob. and it will be lighter once it's dried. Stop singing now, Hayden. Bye. I mean, in real life, you can barely see that. It's a lot brighter on the screen. And that would be with the white. And then pink. No, that's colour on colour, like that's not right. No, I think it'll end up being the white. Right, let's get some of our flowers on, see, because that might make a difference to how we feel. Right, let's be putting some flowers around here. And those will look nice there. Now I want it so that pieces will tuck in and tuck behind. Back there, I think. And then we can have a pink. I'll say pink. It's it is pink, but it's a special pink. It's strawberry slush. I'm going to add that on some dimensionals. I'll have one over there and one in here. Move that so I don't lose that. Now I haven't put any glue under this half so that our photo will go in behind it. See, that's looking so much better already. I think purpley pink petunia pop will look better than the it down there. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Oh, like that there. Again, things look so different on screen to here. I always look up at the screen because I can see better. I'm going to pop a bit of ink just down here as well. There we go. Okay. And build this up. But I don't want to cover too much. And I think I should have just done some of these without stems. But that's okay. We can sort that. How do they look if we tip them up on their end? Might cut some of these apart. Yeah, so right, let's have a chop. Chop at that. And we can add that in under there. Got to watch so it doesn't start to look too messy with lots of layers on top of each other, but that doesn't. Would it be better coming from totally underneath? No, because they're growing out of them then. Might end up putting a bow or something there. So we'll stick that there. Like that there. Under there, please. Bring it down a bit. And then yeah, I can have a bow across there. I like that. I can do some foliage coming out. I expected to need to have used a lot more than I think I'm going to. Don't like that one. As you know, I'm not fussed about things being exactly die cut in things, but that was just a little bit too off. It's not too bad them being off if you're hiding some of it, tucking them in here and there. Alright, and we want some up around here. Which I think we can do. That's better. I'll cut another small one off to go up behind there. Yeah, let me glue those onto there. Oh, I'm gluing bits on behind things. Because I didn't want 3, but I quite like having 2. It's better. There. And actually I could do another couple of those, so I could use, no, not there, don't like that. I don't mind that being there. And then one of those up there. I want to cut some little foliage bits. And we'll go, like I did today, break it up a little bit. We did some granny apple green foliage and it worked really well. But I'm liking it so far. Oh, I want the other one as well. It is actually meant to be a stem of a plant or some flowers, but nothing that says we can't use it as foliage. It's just leaves really at the end of the day. Alright. Let's pop that one out. I'll do a couple of each. And then we've got them. Maybe, yeah, if I do it that way, I can fit those on that. I'll leave that one in while we cut the next couple. Okay, that can go away. I don't think we'll need that much more. And of course, that's a colour we could use for the, no, I don't think that one's cut. Let's course my plate's bent, and with it being such a small die, I'm not taking my time to roll over it slowly. It's not give it the right amount of pressure, but that's okay. You can fussy cut this bit. I mean, sometimes when you fussy cut it, you find it just comes away very simply. Alright, so let's just down that bit. See, bits of it are done, it's just odd bits. I only had to cut that little tiny piece, and the rest fell away again there. I could have just run it back through. There we go. Get into the die so we don't lose those. And we'll just have a go at this. So that's done. It's the same, but it's where I've got it too close to this other one as well. I think that hasn't helped. All right. Let's go in there. There you go, that's got that. And then just in there. That's done that. Down this side on there. So it's not all of it, it's just bits. Leave my plates in there overnight, I think, and straighten them out a little. There we go. Nearly done. Oh my gosh. Excellent. Chop off that tiny bit. There we go. No one would ever know. Okay, so let's see. See, we could stick some foliage in here, and that makes all the difference. Just breaks it up. Surprising what a little bit of greenery does. I mean, florists use it all the time, don't they? So it's obviously needed for some bits. There we go. And then one of these in here maybe. Does that need? No. Oh, that looks nice there. I mean, you could even do white if you wanted to break it up. Doesn't have to be green. Right, let's have a look up here now. So we can pop that, and then if we have like that coming up there, and then that up there. Yeah, so let's pop this on dimensionals. Just pop a couple there. And if I glue that there, and then pop that down there, and then we can put this on top like so. Okay, and then I've got this little spray which I think we're going to have on there, maybe. Not sure about that. Doesn't look right coming down. We'll just go with that. We might have a bow on there. How does that fit in there? No, it won't. Okay, we can leave that. Right, so now that we've got our flowers on, let's have a look at our title and see if it looks any better. It does, but I'm still not convinced that's right. Maybe it's just that that is too dark against that dark. What with the lighter? See, that looks better in that colour. That washes it out, the white. I wonder if yellow on that. Let's have a go. Need to find one of the colours that look right, don't we? Can't. You don't have to have a title, but being as we've got that space now, so we need the larger background in the cloud cover. There's a cloudy sky. Cloud cover. There we go. And then we want the thinner one in Darling Duckling. Let's see what this looks like. Might not be right. Might be perfect. Like I say, it's all trial and error. I mean, sometimes you can sit and do something and you just do it and it's right. It looks right. The colours go. Everything. And then other times there's one thing like this that just baffles you. This is baffling me. Why it doesn't sit right. There we go. So let's try. Yeah, Darling Duckling on cloud cover and see what we think. That. No, that's just not right either. How about cloud cover with strawberry slush? That's better. But it's not right. That's not right. What about white behind pink now that we've got the yellow? Do you know, I think we might have found right colour. Have I got a piece? Where have all my pieces? A basic white. Right. I think that because I've now put the ink colour behind, it might be better with the white background on it. Like I say, none of them will go to waste. They will all get used sooner or later. Right. So we've got that on that. See, that's better. Oh, how about that overpowers it? No, we need the pink. We need strawberry slush on the white. Right, let's glue this on. I still haven't used my adhesive sheets for this. I forget that they're there. Oops. Nearly. Luckily I've got a glue eraser. I'm getting the bits off. Okay. Let's get this on here where it's supposed to be. Once you've got it start to line up and pop it down, it's quite simple to get it into place, and especially if you do use wet glue, because you can slide it across a little bit like so. Okay, here we are. Oh, just move that M down slightly. Excellent. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a little bit of stamping around there. I'm just going to use, I was thinking of that, just so it's a little dainty, but that might be a bit big. But in this one, I've got the little tiny foliage. And I think that in Granny Apple Green to tie in with the foliage that we've done, stamped off. One more, because we have to have 5. Oh, we have to have an odd number. Right, let's just try that. I'll glue that down. There we go. If we just pop that down there, like so. Now I'm going to add a little bit something to it. I want a piece of basic white again, and we're going to have bloom where you're planted, and I'm going to do that as well in the Granny Apple Green. And I'll just keep it close to the edge. Should use my piercing mat, but that's okay. That's it. My Granny Apple Green is a bit two-tone. It needs re-inking. Which I must admit I thought I'd done it, but obviously not. That's okay. We can get that done. And just measure that against there. And what I'm going to do is pop it flat up to there and then at an angle there. We've got bloom where you're planted. That's it. I'm just going to put that on flat. And then that just hides the start of those leafy bits, the foliage, so they don't look so like they're just hanging around. There you go. That's not too bad, is it? Right. We want a bow or something there, I believe. I haven't got a lot of ribbon at the moment. Oh, I've got some of the old ink colours. I'm not sure if they'll be a bit heavy. Let's try Pretty and Pink. Let's just do a bow in that and see. I'm not sure if this ribbon is staying or if it's retiring. Actually, you know, I quite like that. And then it's got the little flowers coming from underneath it. So we'll chop that. And then we can titivate this bow to how we want it. Quite like it being a straightish bow across. And having it there, and we can trim it down. So glue dots. That's hid that bit of a mess. It's not a mess, but it's a bit messy where things are coming from different angles. That just hides that a little bit, and it also looks sweet. Oh. And there. There we go. And then we will have our photo on there eventually. And I don't think, just looking at it, I want to do anything else to it. I was wondering perhaps of something here where these just sort of start and end, but no, I'm fine with that. Was wondering if I needed another piece of green foliage, but no, I think one there and the two there is plenty. So yeah, I think we need to add some embellishments, and these are the new In Colour Flat Pearls. Gorgeous. Right, so put these, I think we want them around here and maybe some up around there. So I'm going to go for larger ones, and I'm going to bury them in. Because I don't normally want to use the larger. It's the smaller ones we tend to go to. But because I've got lots of places, I can tuck them in. I think we will. And we will have little ones with those two as well. I've got 5 there, and then we'll go for some medium ones up around here. So we haven't used this cloudy sky, which that's quite subtle, so it can go there. And then have one of those there, and have that one under there. So 5, 6, well, we've got 8 now, but we've got a 3 and a 5. So now I'm torn. But if I put another one, that's making that equal around that or equal around that. But I could go just totally random. Pop one on there, totally on its own. There we go. I'm good with that because that's on its own. Right, so there is our scrapbook page. Again, it's taken me over an hour. It's a good job I pre-die cut, stamped and die cut what I did, because we would still be going. I'm being quite indecisive as late. Let's swap cameras over. Yeah, struggling to make decisions on whether it's the right one or not. But never mind. It's gone very dark outside now. But I hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know in the comments what you think, what you would have done different, what colours you would have chosen. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it. Like I say, it was a layout that I found online and popped up when I looked for layouts, and it's Jenessa Franco for paper issues. So I'll show you. I should swap the camera back again, and I'll just show you. That was her design layout that she did. Very similar. Just using what products I've got, changing the odd bit round. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all next week. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.